All set.
Okay. Good evening. Welcome to the Ordinance Subcommittee. Today is Tuesday, March 14, 2023. Time is 7:04. This meeting is conducted hybrid, and you might remotely access to the meeting through the digital platform below. Pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Act of 2022, this meeting of Ordinance Committee is being conducted in via remote participation only. A reminder that the person who would like to listen to view this meeting while in progress may either attend to the following locations: Facebook's Lawrence City Council page and YouTube Lawrence City Council page. Maria, roll call.
Okay. Councilor Anna Levy. Councilor
Present.
Anna Levin.
Present.
Thank you. Councilor Maria de la Cruz.
Present.
Councilor Selena Reyes.
Present.
Madam Chair Stella Reyes.
Present.
Thank you.
Counselor, we have a page and a half of new items. Please be mindful that we have a lot of items that we need to discuss tonight. And since we are having problem with a technical difficulty with the internet, we might have some kind of delayed. So try to be patient, but we're gonna try to move this meeting as quickly as possible. I'm gonna be taking a couple of items out of order. The first item is document 4423. Can I get a motion to take document 4423 out of order?
So moved.
Motion has been made properly. Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 The ayes have it. Councilor Selena Reyes,
Yes.
Councilor Levy,
Yes.
Councilor De La Cruz,
Yes.
and the chair is voting affirmative. Document 4423 is FIY 22, foster care transportation approval to enter into MOU. It has been put in the agenda by Odanis Hernandez, CEO LPS, and I know that she is on the line. Odanis, if you can give us a brief update.
Thank you, Councilor Reyes. Good evening, members of the Ordinance Subcommittee. This item is an opportunity for the City of Lawrence and Lawrence Public Schools to enter into an agreement for Title IV funding that is available through ESSA. ESSA is every student Success Act, and in the Fostering Connections through Increasing Adoptions Act is an opportunity to enter into an agreement with them, with DCF, for foster care students that we transport in Lawrence Public Schools to receive reimbursement, to receive funding back or reimbursement back. What the three office and ESSA is telling the district is that we need an approval from the City Council as the governing body to allow the City of Lawrence Lawrence Public Schools to enter into this agreement. So authorizing the city to sign the agreement with DCF and all the other, and DESI and the Office of Human Health Services. Again, it's just funding that it's available. Lawrence Public Schools and the city would like to take, not advantage, but would love the opportunity to be able to submit. We have roughly 50 students that we can submit through this opportunity to receive reimbursement back. And the 50 students were students that we transported under the category of foster students in school year 22. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
Counselor, does anyone has any question?
I have a question, Madam Chair.
Counselor De La Cruz?
Yes. Ms. O'Danis, the city doesn't have to put any money into this grant. It's going to be given to the city without us putting any money in.
Correct. It's payments that have been already made. So we have three contracts. We go out to bid for 3 transportation contracts. One of them covers what we call homeless and foster care. And this is just to provide, right, so the city doesn't have to give any money. This is just for us to receive money back in the form of reimbursement for students that we have already transported. These are students, we transport a number of foster students from different communities back to our beautiful city for schooling every day.
Thank you.
Sure.
Madam
Any other
Chair.
counselor?
Yes,
Counselor?
Madam
Levy?
Chair.
Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead.
Thank you, Odani. You said that from different communities, so it's not just only the people who live on the city of Lawrence, also other community are being served with this grant?
No, what I meant by that, thank you for the clarification question, Councilor Levy. What I meant by that is, for example, I may be a student placed in a foster care. My foster mom may live in Waltham, but I am originally from Lawrence. So we are the district that is mandated to continue to educate that student, because this is where I was taken from. So then we will pick up the student. They will pick me up in Waltham and bring me back to Lawrence. So that's what I meant. So our students that we're transporting could be in different communities, and we're bringing them back to our city so that they can be educated in their school that they were taken from.
Okay. Thank you
Sure.
so much.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
Please, no any other question? Can I get a motion to send document 4423 with favor recommendation?
So move.
Second, the motion.
Motion has been made properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Aye.
Councilor De La Cruz,
Yes.
Councilor Reyes, Councilor Levy,
Yes.
and the chair is voting affirmative. It could be that Councilor Reyes is having difficult. So we're just gonna move and she come back.
She's muted. She's muted.
Okay. Councilor Reyes,
She's muted. Okay.
okay. So, thank you, Mrs. Ordanis. I think that's the only item that we had for you this evening.
I believe so. Thank you, councilors. for the
Okay,
opportunity
thank
to
you.
be
It's
here.
always a pleasure to have you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Counselor, can I get a motion to take document 6223 out of order?
So move.
Motion has been made. Councilor De La Cruz,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes, have it. Councilor Reyes,
Yes.
Councilor Levy,
Yes.
Councilor De La Cruz,
Yes.
and chair is voting affirmative.
May I just say, and I apologize to interrupt. Good evening, councilors. Gina LaGreca on behalf of the city of Lawrence. I realized after I had submitted this item that the position of Assistant Superintendent of Cemeteries was actually deleted. It was voted out of the ordinances on docket 198 of 2017. So I completely apologize. I'm withdrawing this request. The ordinances online just had not been updated to reflect that change. So I'll be withdrawing this item to request and fill, or I'm sorry, to post and fill that position.
Can I get a motion to withdraw document 6223?
Yes,
So move.
so move.
Motion has been made properly seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
Councilor Levy,
Yes.
Reyes,
Yes.
De La Cruz,
Yes,
and the chair is voting affirmative. Moving on, can I get a motion to take document 4523 out of order?
So
So
move.
move.
Motion has been made. Well, Counselor, let me do this, so that way we don't have to go back one by one, because I believe that Personnel Director LeGrec, she's gonna be speaking in all these 4 items. So I'm gonna be taking as a block, even though she's gonna be speaking individual, one by one, but that way I don't have to go in roll call in every single one. Can I get a motion to take document 4523, 4623, 4723, and 4823 as a block
So move.
in out of order? As a block and out of order. Motion has been made properly seconds. All those in favor?
aye.
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 Councilor Reyes,
Yes.
Councilor De La Cruz,
Yes,
Councilor Levy,
Yes.
and the chair is voting yes. Mrs. LeGrec, the first document is 4523, proposed ordinance for CAFO position. Gina LeGrec,
Good evening again. So yes, so this position exists under state law, and it's actually currently filled by Mark Ianello for the city. We're just doing our best, the city attorney and I, to update our ordinances to reflect some of the positions that are acknowledged, but actually just aren't contained in the ordinances. So we'd like to propose this ordinance to mirror the state law that created the position of CAFO.
so this isn't a set position. So we're just gonna be, so what we are doing is reposting the position?
So actually, it's already filled by Mark Ianello.
Yeah,
It's kind of the funny thing, and it was created as a position in state law, but Lawrence's local ordinances didn't have something saying that this position exists. So what the city attorney and I are trying to do is just create ordinances to reflect some of the positions that actually have already existed in the city, but just for whatever reason, were never ordinanced. So this really isn't any type of change at all. It's just an acknowledgement of the position that already exists as we know it.
thank you. Counselor, any question? Hear none. Can I get a motion to send document 4523 with favorable recommendation?
so move.
Second.
Second.
Motion has been made properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Whenever Gina finished, then I'm gonna do a recall too. That's why she's gonna be speaking on one by one. So that way we only gonna do a one roll call. So second is 4623. Proposal ordinance for supervisor of energy project.
So this one is actually a proposal for a totally new position that does not currently exist in our ordinances. I was approached by Anil Nakvel, who has been helping our city basically become more green. These positions would ultimately provide Lawrence with an opportunity to hire people to ensure that we're doing the most energy efficient projects that we can, and that we're not wasting any money on things that are outdated or things that just don't serve the city in the environmental sense. So Anil is actually also on the call if you'd like to hear from him as well, and he would be in a good position to explain exactly what these employee or employees would do if the position were to be created. I did add the salary information, and I graded it as
Okay.
a grade E, which is fairly low on the salary schedule, but we think that it would be appropriate given the requirements and the duties and the supervisory qualities that this employee would have. So Anil is also on the call if you'd like to hear anything about what the position would actually be doing for the city.
Please.
Councillors,
Anil can start. Yeah, go ahead.
thank you, councillors, for letting me speak. Our city uses about $4 million plus in energy consumption. We have a lot of opportunities to bring funds from outside, and we don't have someone who is supervising all these efforts. There are also additional funding that city is going to get $3 million from Columbia settlement. Those funds are available through DOER and AGO's office. These are the people who are ready to actually fund some of this position for next 2 to 3 years, and then we can pick up afterwards the rest of it. There are various opportunities I'm bringing to the table so that the funding can come from other sources as well. There are enormous number of funds available out there that we are not able to trap because we don't have someone who is full-time looking at the energy management position. Many other towns in the Commonwealth have such positions. Lowell has some position, and they're like 10x, 20x return on the investment. So I think what I'm suggesting is that we strongly should have this position so that it works in our favor. Funding for this can come from other sources. City may not have to take anything from their pocket, but it becomes the city's position. So there are other things that city has to worry about, and city will benefit enormously from it. I'll be more than happy to go into details for many aspects of the things, but I just want to keep it at very high level so that you can make progress.
Okay, Councillor, any questions?
A question, Madam Chair.
Councillor De La Cruz.
Yes, Mr. Anil, how many employees you have there is in that department?
There is nobody. This position doesn't exist. The department doesn't exist. And we are really literally losing a lot of money because there is nobody who is supervising a lot of activities that happens under the energy expenditure, like bills being paid. Some bills are being paid when we should not be paying the bills. There is just a lot of things that I'm uncovering that I think there is a lot of energy efficiency that we need to bring to the table. So right now there is nobody. I'm working pro bono for last 1 year. I work about 10 to 12 hours. So I think you don't probably want to depend on me for doing this for a long time. It's a good idea that city has somebody who does this full time. I'm nice and I'm going to work hard. I'm going to train this person, bring all the expertise, but I get nervous that city has to depend on me. I don't like that. I think we need somebody who is permanent, who city is accountable in many ways. I work as if I'm accountable. I have all the sort of bindings, but I think you want somebody who is permanent, who's accountable on various ways.
And if I may, I would say that, so Anil right now is currently an unpaid volunteer who is one of the hardest workers that we actually have in the city. He's been amazing, and it's our hope that with this position being created, he'll be able to train somebody as his successor, whether it's one person or multiple people. We probably will need multiple people to take over you because you do so much, but that's the hope. And I think by creating this position, that's the only way to do that for a long-term solution.
Yes, Mr. Anil, that was my next question. Do you think one person will be able to do all the job that is required? I think a department needed to be created because as you said, we're losing a lot of money that is being provided to the through the to all of those programs that are coming. and we don't have one person, I don't think it will be able to do all the work because it's a lot of grants that needed to be written and all of that.
So I appreciate your thought, and I'm completely in agreement with you. It takes time to bring people on board. I can't just say that we'll bring 2 or 3 people. Having said that, there's already another position that DOER themselves would like to fund. So we may be able to start with 2, and then let's train them, let's groom them, and then expand as we go along. So I'm taking methodical approach, suggesting 1 at a time, 2 at a time, and then make them grow nicely, and then they can have the supervisory capability, and then we bring in people as needed based on the justification on place. So I'm just starting with 1, but the work clearly is for at least 3 or 4 people. That much I know, because we are losing money, a lot of money, by not applying for a lot of grants, and it really pains me to see that it's just a big handicap I have.
My last question, Mr. Anil, does that have a connection with the recycling that we needed to be doing in the community to be able to transform into eco energy and stuff like that?
The recycling effort is right now orthogonal. Right now, I want the focus has to be energy management, energy efficiency, and all kinds of ways we can save energy, and we can also create solar energy in the local properties. So it's all right now energy, but there's no reason why at some point we cannot start expanding into recycling efforts, sustainability efforts. But let's start at the place where we have the highest return right away that we can think about. So that's really where I'm going with it.
Thank you, Mr. Anil.
Welcome.
Thank you, Councilor De La Cruz. So all the councilor, I'll encourage you to have a separate meeting, and just to try to get more information. This is basically what prior item that we just passed. Sometime we had the opportunity to apply to a grant. Sometimes is a lot that we can bring back to the community, but the fact that we don't have someone in position and in that position, that is the reason why we try to create, but it's more than what I can explain. I had the opportunity to meet in person and go, especially when the mayor is meeting with Mr. Anil Caban, and he's been passing a lot of great information, and I'm sure that if I try to give him the opportunity to speak, he's not going to be able to cover all. So please take this opportunity and sit with him. Is a lot more that he can explain, all the things that he's been doing behind the scenes, just to kind of give it a name. So do not lose this opportunity and sit with him. If there's not any other other councilor, can I get a motion to send document 4623 with favorable recommendation?
So
Motion has been made, properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Remember that when we finish with the 2 more items, I'm going to do the roll call. So far, we had been unanimous on 45 and 46. So my next item is 4727, proposal change of ordinance 2.160, non-union clarification plan scheduled at Shard. Gina.
Good evening again, councilors, and thank you so much for your consideration. So in reviewing the non-union classification plan, Schedule A chart, I noticed some things that needed to be changed. So while this is kind of a rather large item, I tried to organize it as best I could. And first, I provided under Exhibit A, just the way that the non-union classification salary chart currently looks. If you look to Exhibit B, that's my list of proposed changes. So I tried to organize this in a way that even the public will be able to understand. And there were a couple of just clerical errors. For example, I noticed a typo in the title that I think that should be changed, because of the way that the ordinance currently looks. Also, change 2 was a title in the mayor's office was wrong. So my proposal is to change the title of that and also remove the word recommended from column headings. Also, in my review of this ordinance as it exists, I noticed that some positions were left off in error. We really did our best to encompass all of the non-union positions when we initially did this, but there were some that were missed. So I worked with the CAFO as well as the administration and reviewed the column center chart to place those positions. You'll notice number 8. So all of those are positions, by the way, that are already filled. So we are just doing our best to update those. But you'll notice that number 8 is actually the only one that never had a salary, which is the emergency management director. We worked to add this to grade B. This position does currently exist in the ordinances. However, it has just never had a salary attached to it. So that I would say is probably the biggest change that you'll see on this. And I would suggest that if in fact you don't want to approve this as a whole, we could strike any provision that I have on here and I could resubmit that so that the entire thing doesn't fail. But understanding that that is a bigger change, I just want to point that one out. There were also 2 positions that we believed should have actually been graded higher than they initially were on the first one, which is the recycling coordinator. Our proposal is to move that from a grade F to a grade E. And also the grant writer from a grade E to a grade D, because this is a really big city for the grant writer to have to do all of that work. That's something that really it needs to pay better so that we could draw talent. We do have a lovely grant writer right now who is being excellent, but we just think the amount of work that has been placed on her, it's really more appropriate for grade D. And then one change in my own department that I noticed was the benefits coordinator was actually graded the same as the confidential secretary. I don't think that's appropriate just given the workloads. So my proposal is actually to move that down 1 grade from a grade F to a grade G. And then I did submit for your consideration what the new salary chart would look like if those proposals were to be approved by the council.
What is the difference between grade A and grade B, money wise?
So grade A is 136,500 to 208,000, and grade B is $100,100 to 145,600. So there is a bit of overlap actually in grades A and B, just to account for some of the different varying levels.
So what is the overlap?
So the overlap would be, so grade B goes all the way up to 145, and grade A actually starts at 136,500. So there's an overlap there of about $10,000.
10,000. Well, I see Councilor President, and the only reason that he popped in if he has any question, and that is for sure. By courtesy, I just want to give, so Councilor President, do you have any question?
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I do appreciate the recognition and the courtesy that you're allowing me to speak. One of the, as the director mentioned, there are several changes that you'll see in this proposal. One of the changes does give me pause. The position of emergency management director, the EMD position. I don't want to take a lot of time up here, but from my perspective at this point, no one has made a compelling argument to me that we need to have that position. Currently, that the roles and responsibility is hired by the fire chief, and it's included in his position, and it's been historically in that position. And I don't understand. It's not been nobody's provided an argument as to why we need to make that change and create in a single position for that, especially at the rate of pay that this position is looking to arrive at. So we have someone doing it, a person. I think this new
Councilor
position, I don't have it in front of me.
Councilor President, are we talking about the same Ordinance 2.160, non-union clarification plan. Is
Yes,
that the
yes,
same
we
one
are.
that you're talking? That's the
Yes.
one.
Yes, ma'am. As the
Okay.
director said, there were several changes. This is one of those changes that's inside this one. There was an original one that was issued a few months ago now, and this is an addendum, an amendment to that first one. As the director mentioned, there's several clarifications, some changes, some things that they're looking to catch. This is one of the new things that inside here. And I mean, I'm not on the committee. I at this point, if this was a vote for me right now, I probably would not support it. If this was a vote and they were able to take that EMD thing out at this point, I would be much more inclined to support at the full council level. But I just wanted to, I can't say that at the full council level for the reasons that, you know, as the chair, as the president, but I can say it here. I have not been convinced, and no one's talked to me about why we need to have this brand spanking new position that's already been done and why the taxpayers have to pay for that. That hasn't been compelling yet.
I'm gonna open the floor for the councillor.
Yes, I have a question.
Okay, Councillor De La Cruz.
Mr. Lagrica, isn't it that position for the fire chief?
Currently, yes, so currently the fire chief performs the duties and has been designated as the state by the emergency management director for the city of Lawrence.
Okay, then we don't need to make any changes. He's already a non-union position. Then we are not getting another position, right? We are not opening another position on top of that one.
I think the hope of the administration is to have a separate emergency management director to be paid at the rate of a director's pay. Yes, currently the duties are performed by the fire chief as part of his contract, and so it does not require additional payment to him.
Then we're going to hire somebody else to be on that position?
So the change before the council tonight just is to attach a salary to that position. It does exist under the ordinances, which state essentially that the city is empowered by state law to declare somebody as the emergency management director.
Okay, but isn't it the chief already qualified to do that? When we had the fires, when we had the gas explosion,
yes,
he acted out like a chief, like his title requested. Then I don't see the difference. Why to have two people in the same position with such a high salary? It's if you see all the salaries that you presented here on the binder, the A's and the B's and the C and the D's, all of them has an increase of 45,000, 40,000, 30,000. The lowest salary was 30,000 over the salary that we already have online. Then if we having two people at the fire department, is two positions, is you know, and he's going to get paid as a director, then, you know, we're wasting so much money on salaries that we're going to regret it one day. Then my concern is, why not to adapt all of those new requirements to the fire chief who already is in that position and who already has taken in charge of emergency and all of that?
I certainly understand. So in the event that the council would like to see that portion of this proposal removed, I could certainly do that if the rest of the proposed changes were something that you'd be inclined to adopt or send forward. I can always resubmit this if that was something that you'd be interested in me doing. I can make that edit.
I would like to make a motion to
Hold on. So I have to ask the other councillor.
Okay, sorry, madam.
If they have any questions, if they know what I think we should do before we jump in, because I agree with all the things that you had been saying, to table this specific item until we get more information, not to be approving a portion that we might have to come back. So let's table document 4723. Motion to table document 47.
Motion to table.
So
Motion has been made, properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
See, That's good. So I believe that we have one more with you, Gina, right?
Yes.
4823. Proposal ordinance modification for programs coordinator for economic development.
Thank you. So the way that the ordinance currently reads for this position, it requires a master's degree. However, there are other higher paying positions that have more duties and more similar duties as well for economic development that don't require a master's degree. So those were created after this ordinance, I believe, and we just think there was potentially some mistake in that. We think that it makes sense based on the salary range, which I do have. If you could just give me one moment.
Okay.
The salary range for this position is 45,500 to 72,800. I genuinely don't think we'd be able to hire somebody with a master's degree for that range. So the proposal is to remove that requirement under the qualifications.
Yes.
Yeah, but Ms. Lagrica, on this paper, Economy Development Officer 2, it says 104, the salary.
So for this one's for program coordinator of economic
Programs.
development. That's just a different position. It falls
Okay.
under
It's just to remove a piece of ordinance, what they required a master degree. And what she's saying is that doesn't make any sense, but the salary that we are offering for that position, no one who has a master degree is gonna come for that kind of money.
Yeah, but at least a bachelor degree. It should be a
That is
bachelor.
for $45,000
No, it's not 45, it's
up to 72,000.
72, almost 73. Then it should be a bachelor. Any salary that is more than 70 should be bachelor.
So this
I think
position actually starts at 45,000, which would be under the ordinances, we would have to bring somebody in at the bottom range or the
Yeah.
minimum salary. And we could only go up into the mid-range
Yeah.
for exceptional circumstances. So nobody would ever start on this position for 72,000 if that helps
Yeah.
address some of your concerns.
Yeah,
Yes.
but at least
Yeah.
we should change it to a bachelor degree and with a salary more than 45. You're right. It should be higher than that.
Yeah, but then we have to change. We have to work with something else. What she's presenting out now is for the money that we have available for that position. We can't make a major change with so much little money. It's not a lot of money for us to play.
Okay, but the changes will be a bachelor degree, not a master degree.
Yeah, but then it have to be in a separate items that needs to
Madam
be
Chair.
submitted to us. And then we work from that. From as of right now, what Gina's is asking is just to remove master degree. She didn't go to any other qualification, but with the money that she needs to play with, she needs to make sure that what we are offering, we are going to be having candidates to be interesting to apply. Because no one is going to start at 72. So let it start, let it do whatever she thinks that we can do at this time. She's the expert. Then if it's something that we might need to change, I'm sure that she's not going to hesitate to put it in our agenda. But she knows that we can be playing and talking about money because this is only to make a change in the position, not of the salary. So
But
that have to be two separate line.
But my question would be, Ms. Gina, what requirement will you put on that kind of position? A high school diploma?
I wouldn't be adding anything to the ordinance at this point, just removing that portion.
Then we're going to continue to have people with no college degree to apply for position just because people are not going to come to the city. We have a lot of kids coming out of college with a associate degree that they can apply to this position.
They could certainly apply. Nothing would prevent somebody from applying that had a college degree. It just, it wouldn't be a requirement, but anybody with any degree could certainly always apply. We would encourage them to.
But I hope it's more than a high school diploma.
Okay, Councilor Levy?
Yes. Mr. Mrs. Gina. Beside of the master, what are all of the other requirements that they are asking for? According to, do you have it with you?
Yes, so if I could just have a moment, this was actually kind of a joint submission between Attorney Hooton and I, but I believe I do have it with me. If I could just have one moment, I can look. Attorney Hooton, I know you're on the call. Do you by chance have this
I
complete?
don't have the job description. I just have the removal.
Okay, I can absolutely look this up right now. So if you'll just give me one moment, I can look in our municipal code to see what exactly it says. And I apologize for the delay on this.
No problem, take your time.
So the ordinance is ordinance number 2.12.090. And currently it's a very, very short ordinance. It was created in 1996, but it just states the program coordinator shall possess a master's degree in city planning, economics, or related field. So if we removed that, and again, this is only a 2-sentence ordinance. It just states that there shall be established in the office of the mayor, a program coordinator for economic development. And then that second sentence is the master's degree. So if we did remove that portion, there would be nothing that addresses education or other qualifications in the ordinance.
Just only the city planning requirement.
Yes.
Mhm.
Right.
Okay. So, can we, si we remove that, can we add like a key year of experience, maybe?
Yeah, so we could absolutely do something like that. Madam Chair, I'll defer to you. I believe that this would have to be a separate submission, unless we, okay, I think so as well. So I could
Yes,
absolutely
yes,
come back and do that.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
that was
whatever
my,
change.
yes, my, yeah, that was my next thing, you know, that we should
Yeah.
table.
Sure.
So until you finish redoing along with that city attorney, whatever that, you know, the experience or the bachelor, whatever that we think, or any other things that
Counselor.
can be tied. I know that was 1986. That's what you say. So we are in
96.
2023. Yes, we are in 2023 right now. Yes.
Counselor,
Yep.
again, we have to submit a different item. We cannot working with job description. She's only asking to delete 2 sentences on the ordinance. Whatever
Just
we
only
want
one.
after, then we can go and talk to Gina and say, this is what I want to see after. This has nothing to do with whatever we want to see happen with this. It's only to delete 2 sentences. Simple. After that, we can create whatever. But now it has to be submitted in 2 different items. It cannot be talking in the same one. It's 2 different lines. Okay? So,
Madam Chair, for me, it's okay to, that is what I'm saying. So at that time that's ordinance was created, was in 1986. We are in 2023. Okay, so it's how many years right now? So for me, it's okay because the salary at that time is not the same salary at this time. So we can remove the master, okay?
Yeah.
She can create the ordinance along, and we can revise it. That's it.
Yeah, you can be the author on that one. You can say, Gina, this is what I want after we delete whatever we are deleting tonight.
Exactly.
And then
Yep.
you can submit another different item with the full information or any documentation that is going to be supporting what we want for that specific position.
That is
right?
Yep.
Yes. So I'm going to be called for a roll call. Can I get a motion to send 4823 with favorable recommendation?
So move.
Second.
Motion has been made, properly second. All those in favor?
Present.
Aye.
Present.
Aye.
Yes, we are gonna do a roll call. So I'm gonna be calling one by one now to make the roll call. 4523, it was a unanimous. So Councillor Levy,
Yes.
Councillor Reyes,
Yes.
Councillor De La Cruz.
That's item 4523, right?
Yes,
Yes, my vote is yes.
and the chair is voting affirmative. 4623 was also unanimous. Councillor Reyes,
Yes.
Councillor Levy,
Yes.
Councillor De La Cruz,
Yes,
and the chair is voting yes. 4727 to table. Unanimous. Councillor Reyes,
Yes.
Councillor Levy,
Yes.
Councillor De La Cruz,
yes,
and she is voting affirmative. Last one, 4823. 3 yes, 1 present. Councillor Reyes,
Yes.
Councillor Levy,
Yes.
Councillor De La Cruz,
present.
and she is voting affirmative. Motion passed.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you, Gina. It's always nice to see you. Any other items?
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I did work with Attorney Hooton on 2 other items that are very, very similar to the ones that we just heard. If the council would indulge me by just listening to those. There's one for Chief of Staff, which is a long, well-recognized position, but just doesn't exist in our ordinances, and also the Airport Manager. Those are items 36 and 37 of 23.
36, those are table? Or those, oh, wait, you do have more.
I do.
Oh, Gina, forgive me.
Yes, the city
Okay.
attorney and I have a lot of items on tonight. We apologize.
Oh, my God, yes. So can I get a motion to take document 3623 and 3723 as a block?
So
Out
move.
of order.
So moved.
As a block and out of order.
So moved.
Motion has been made properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Councillor Reyes,
Yes.
Levis,
Yes.
De La Cruz,
Yes,
and the chair is voting affirmative. First document, 3623, proposal ordinance for Chief of Staff position. Gina?
Thank you very much. So this is another position that has long well been recognized. We have always had it filled, to my knowledge. Every mayor has had a chief of staff. But for some reason, there's no ordinance that actually reflects that this position exists. So the city attorney and I have submitted this item just to memorialize what we all already know to be true, which is that the mayor needs a chief of staff in his office.
Okay. Any question about that one? None? Can I get a motion to send document 3623 with favorable recommendation?
So moved.
So move.
Motion has been made, properly second. All those in favor?
aye,
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. I'll do the roll call like I did. Unanimous on 3623. Next, 3723.
So this is the
Proposal, yeah, go ahead.
apologize. I'm so sorry to interrupt. This is a position that actually exists under state law, and we are required to have an airport manager, given that we have a municipal airport. So this is a position that has been filled as long as the airport has existed, but the city attorney and I noticed that there was no ordinance reflecting that this position exists. So we're just asking that it be added to the ordinances to memorialize that we do in fact have this position.
Okay. Any question? You're none? Can I get a motion to send document 3723 with favor recommendation?
So move.
Second.
Yes. Motion has been made properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes, have a unanimous. So
Aye.
I'm gonna make the roll call. I'm going to make a roll call for both, just to have it in the record. 3623 was a unanimous, so I'm gonna call 36 and first, and then 37. Councilor Reyes,
Yes.
Levy,
Yes.
De La Cruz,
Yes.
and the chair is voting affirmative. 3723 was also unanimous. Councilor De La Cruz.
I voted yes.
Yeah, I know you did. Councilor Levy,
Yes.
Councilor Reyes,
Yes.
and she is voting affirmative. Both motion was saying that with favor recommendation. The reason that I'm calling a roll call in single motion is because it needs to keep up the records. I know how everybody's voting. Thank you for doing that. Director LeGrec, any other item?
I don't believe so. And thank you all very, very much for hearing me out on all of these items tonight. I know that I had a significant chunk of the list, so thank you very much for your time.
So you make the city attorney work lightly. So he didn't have to speak much this meeting. I hope that he's not crossing his finger, because this is only one-time deal. We are gonna go back in person, and you are also gonna be having a lot of questions. So don't take it as a grant tonight, because this is not always gonna happen that way, okay?
Thank you very much.
Gina.
Madam Chair? Madam Chair?
Yes.
Mr. Anil, he want to say something.
I
Yes.
just want to thank the councillors for the support and appreciate all the work you do. Just appreciate, and I want to make sure that I do the best for the city. Thank you.
Thank you. We really appreciate it. And I
Thank you.
encourage them to give you a call, get in contact with you for you to pass all the great information that I know that I have, but I wish them to take some time and meet with you one-on-one.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, I can see two other, Jackson Bascom and Jonathan Guzman. Do you have any items? Any of you that we need to take care now?
Yes, a document 3. Oh, it's a table document.
Oh, it's a table. So what is the document number?
I'm trying to find the 33522.
Document 335. Let's see.
If I may,
Yeah, Jonathan, that's your document.
I don't know if it's still done by Attorney Houghton.
No, both of those items, 335 is ready, but it has not been submitted. 336, I am waiting for state approval. So both of those
Yep.
Probably do not need to be taken up at this time unless
Okay.
you want to take them up separately, in which case I can submit 335 for the next time, but you don't
Oh,
have my amended.
Okay, so what I think they were looking was more for update, since that I've been telling them that we're just gonna be waiting, so I'm not gonna remove out of the table until we're
Sure.
ready with all the documentations. But at least they know, and I know they feel better now that they know that we've been working. So I'm
Yes,
just
I
gonna
had
leave it
a
as,
meeting with Mr. Guzman. He came to my office a short time ago. We worked out 335. I told them that 336, I was just waiting for state approval. So yes, as a result of your questions, we have been working on it.
Okay,
And I will have it hopefully for your next meeting.
okay, since that I haven't been taking the items out of table, as you know, attorney, we cannot continue talking in those matter.
No problem.
Okay, so any other, okay? Mr. Bascom, do you have any item?
Yes, I do. Thank you. My item is number 5323, a license request for Eversource.
Oh, for some reason, they say to table the document.
Yes.
Yeah, we got an email that it was request to table. Did you speak with the city clerk?
I did actually, this afternoon, I had sent the email to the city clerk. I didn't think I was gonna be able to make it up to Lawrence this evening, but then I found out that the meeting was going to be remote. So if you would like to review it, I am here. If not, that's okay too. It's up to you.
Okay, so the reason that I'm asking, so we can take the item out of the order, and then we can let you speak. Can I get a motion to take document 5323 out of order?
So moved.
So moved.
Motion has been made properly seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. We're gonna do the last, whenever we voted, we're gonna do the roll call. It has been unanimous. Document 5323, license request for 135 Bartlett Street, Bruce School property, and has been put on the agenda by engineer on behalf of Jackson Bascom on behalf of Eversource. Sir, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you, councilors. So my name is Jason Bascom. I am with Merrill Engineers and Land Surveyors, and I am a land agent on behalf of Eversource Gas, and I put together their land rights documents. And this particular project, there is an existing gas regulator station at the corner of Providence Street and Ames Street, which is the northwest corner of the Bruce School property, part of the, it's a park area off in the woods. And the existing station is scheduled to be replaced. And they're looking to do that on the property of the Bruce School in the corner. Currently, the regulator station, which is a point in the gas system where two pressure systems come together, and it's a spot where they can regulate and monitor pressure and other metrics that they need to look at while monitoring the system. So the proposal is to install a new regulator station at that corner. It would take a footprint of about 10 feet by 50 feet. It would include 3 underground vaults, and it would also include 2 above ground cabinets, which are similar to like a traffic cabinet. And Eversource is requesting a license in order to install this equipment at that corner and allow them to continue to operate. And basically this program is to replace regulator stations around the state. We're working on that, and this will increase the safety and the reliability of the system, and it will help keep the system running in good condition for years to come. And so that is what the license request is for.
If this is going to be one day job, or this is something that is going to require more than one day?
No, it's a fairly large construction project. It usually it'll probably take upwards of a month or two to complete it. But this will be, it is off of, it's not really directly on the school property. It's off in the corner, so it's wouldn't really interfere with much of the school activity.
Okay, if that also is going to require a police detail?
It likely would, yes, during certain times, yes.
So I am not familiar with the neighborhood in that area. But my question is, what would it be the hours that you're gonna be doing that type of job, since that this is gonna be last for a month or month and a half?
I can't really speak on behalf of Eversource's construction group, but I'm sure they have a typical set of hours that they work during the week, and I'm sure they wouldn't necessarily go outside of that. But that is something I could find out if needed.
This item is going to be sent with a public hearing first, but if you can please get in touch with someone and they can send us at least in a schedule for us to know what is going to happen, what time is going to be blocked, if it's going to be blocking a street, so that way we can anticipate our resident what is going to happen and how long this is going to be.
Sure, absolutely.
Councilor, any question? There's
You
none?
said it's going to a public hearing?
Yeah,
Yes.
it needs to go to a public hearing. Yes. Can I get a motion to send document 5323 with favor recommendation to order a public hearing pending the schedule of the work, the dates, so that way we can anticipate our resident what is going to be happen? Can I get a motion to send it up?
So
So
moved.
move.
Motion has been made, properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Councilor Reyes,
Yes.
Councilor Levy,
Yes.
Councilor De La Cruz,
Yes.
and she is voting affirmative. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor.
Thank you, Mr. Bascom. Thank you.
Thank you.
I did notice that our councilor president is still online, and I please my apologies. I noticed that he has 2 more items. Can I get a motion to take documents 7523 and 7526 out of order?
So move.
Second.
Motion has been made, properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Again, we're just gonna be calling one by one, and at the end of both motion, I will do the roll call. First one is 7523. It's a 2022 firefighter of the year award resolution for Captain Blanchard and firefighter Rodriguez. It has been put on the agenda by Councilor President and myself. Councilor President.
Thank you, very much, Madam Chair. So very quickly on this one right here, with your approval and the approval of the full council, I'd like to we're looking to have a resolution to these 2 firefighters. Very simple. Their story was it was a burning building. They went into a burning building. This woman was looking for her cat. She was about to go down, and they saved her life essentially. And that's what the fire department report had. And they received the Firefighter of the Year award. And like memorialize that in a resolution. I gave you one of the resolutions via email. I'm going to get that second one done, but your support of this, I think, will be meaningful to both firefighters, W2 firefighter Captain Blanchard and firefighter Rodriguez.
Thank you. Can I get a motion to take to send document 7523 with favorable recommendation?
So move.
Motion has been made, properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
The
Aye.
ayes have it. Unanimous. So we do the roll call after. Next document is 2022 Police Officer of the Year Award resolution to Sergeant Thomas Carvalho, Officer Preston Carmichael, Officer Lisette Castillo, and Officer Felix Hendrick, and Officer Jeffrey Sapienza. It also has been put on the agenda by myself and Councilor President.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. So this one is these are individuals who are school resource officers, SROs. As you recall, back in 2021, there was an escalation of violence and some altercations that were going on in our schools. They had to beef up the SROs, which they did. And these individuals, through some novel ideas, things such as getting away from the uniform and being more casual, bringing their dog Lancer into the school, and actually more engagement with both teachers and with students. The violence and all that kind of stuff has markedly been reduced thanks to the efforts of the officers you just mentioned, Madam Chair. And they were awarded, as I mentioned, Police Officers of the Year award. And I think it'd be appropriate for us to recognize them with this resolution.
Thank you. Can I get a motion to send document 7623 with favorable recommendation?
So move.
So move.
Motion has been
Second.
made.
Second.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Both motion items has been unanimous. So I'm going to do the last roll call for both. Councilor Reyes,
Yes.
Councilor Levy,
Yes.
Councilor De La Cruz,
Yes.
and the chair is voting yes. One more document for our councilor president. So the last document is 6323. Can I get a motion to take document 6323 out of order?
So move.
Second.
Motion has been made, properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it, unanimous to take it out of order. 6323 is a classification of grounds basics, if any, for insurance of charter objections. Councilor President.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I do realize that you have a very full agenda this evening. This matter is probably going to be worthy of more than a 30-second soundbite, but let me just kind of present the situation, and then maybe later in a different meeting, we can talk about it more fully. We had a charter objection discussion maybe a few meetings ago regarding when is a charter objection acceptable. And I promised at that meeting that I would put it before the council to kind of get to a resolution as to when we thought it should be applicable and when it shouldn't be applicable. The two sides of it are very simple. One side says there needs to be a basis for a charter objection. You just can't say charter objection. Everything kind of goes away. That's one argument. The other argument is we've been doing charter objections for years, or it could be any reason at all to go ahead and do it, and that works. So those are the two different reasons, or the arguments, and they're a little more full. But I would love to hear what you have to say about it. But I'm afraid tonight's probably not the best night for that kind of discussion. But I am interested in knowing how the committee feels about that.
Thank you, Councilor President, for fill us in. As you has mentioned, this is an item that need to be discussed in another meeting, because I know that we need to be clear how we're going to be voting and what do we want and how we want to proceed with this document. So by saying that, can I get a motion to table document 6323?
So move.
Motion has been made. Can I hear a second? Can I hear a second to table document 6323?
Second.
I know, Councilor Reyes, that you was muted. Motion has been made, properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Councilor Reyes,
Yes.
Councilor Levy,
Yes.
Councilor De La Cruz,
Present.
and the chair is voting affirmative. Motion passed. Thank you, Councilor President. Always nice to have you.
Thank you very
Backing up
much.
our meeting, backing up our meeting. Thank you.
You're
How you
welcome.
feel better?
Appreciate it.
Bye-bye now.
So I don't see any other ones waiting to be calling any items. So since I do not have anyone, I'm just gonna go on top of the agenda. we are gonna do exactly what we had been doing, so far. I'm gonna be calling all the document that is gonna be going to Officer Cano, and then we're gonna make a one roll call. Can I get document 70, 23, 71, 23, 72, 23, 73, 23, and 74, 23 to take as a block and send it to Officer Cano, and also to table all the documents.
So
moved.
moved.
Motion has been made, properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm gonna repeat one more time the document. You have 70 handicap parking at 15 Burke Street, 71 handicap parking 111 Arlington Street, 72, 23 handicap parking 33 Boswell Street, 7323 request for resident parking only at 287 South Broadway, and 7423 handicap parking at 55 Greenwood Street. All the motion, if the motion is to send it to Officer Cano, and also to table 70, 71, 72, 73, and 74. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 The ayes have it. Councilor Maria, you have any question?
No, I'm good. I got it. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm gonna do the roll call.
Yes.
Councilor Reyes,
Yes.
Councilor Levy,
Yes.
Councilor De La Cruz,
Yes.
and the chair is voting affirmative. So let me see if the next item, okay. Send. Can I get a motion to take document 5323, 5823, 5923, and 6023 as a block to
Madam
send it
Chair.
to,
Madam Chair.
yes,
Okay, Madam Chair, we already passed the 5323.
57, I'm sorry.
Okay.
5723. Thank you, Councilor Levy. 5723, 5823, 5923, and 6023 as a block. And to send it to Officer Cano, and also to table all the documents.
So moved.
So move.
Second.
Motion has been made, properly seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Councilor Reyes,
Yes.
Councilor Levy,
Yes.
Councilor De La Cruz,
Yes.
and the chair is voting affirmative. I'm just gonna read it for the record, and but we good. Maria, if you have any question before I pass to the other item, just let me know.
Okay, thank you.
Resident parking only, Alden Court, Monday through Sunday, 6 p.m. to 8 a.m. It has been put on agenda by Councilor Gregory Del Rosario and Councilor Levy. Loading zone, school bus drop off and pick up, Garden Street, Esperanza Academy, September through June, Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. and 2:30 to 5:30. It's not gonna be all day long. It's gonna be only Monday to Friday from September to June. After September, anyone can park in at whatever time. Loading zone, school bus drop off, pick up, Garden Street, North Side Masonic Hall, Esperanza also Academy. It has been put on agenda by myself. It's gonna be from September to June, from Monday to Friday again, 7 a.m. through 8 a.m. and again, 2:30 through 5:30. Last loading zone school bus drop-off, pickup of Jackson Street from Common Street to Garden Street. Esperanza Academy from September to June, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. through 8 a.m. is only an hour in the morning, and 2:30 through 5:30 is only Monday through Friday from September to June. It's not gonna be all year around. So the motion has been made, properly second, it has been a roll call. We're moving on. 6123, removal of handicap, is the leader handicap parking space at 63 through 69 Link Street. Can I get a motion to send document 6323?
No, 61, 61.
6123 to order a public hearing.
So move.
Second.
Motion has been made, properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Yes. Councilor Reyes,
Yes.
Councilor Levy,
Yes.
Councilor De La Cruz,
Yes.
and Councilor and myself, and the chair voting yes. Okay, so I'm just reading the first document that we talk about, personal director that has been sent out. Maria, do you have document 6223 to be sent for withdrawal?
6223. Yes, that was.
Yeah, that was the first. Yeah,
The first
okay.
item for Attorney LaGreca.
Yeah, yeah. So I
Yes.
just want to make sure that we did that. So we are gonna be doing
6823.
Madam Chair,
68. Yes,
the 6123 was just order full council and order public hearing, right?
yes,
Okay,
because it's a removal handicap.
yes,
And we have to go through the same process.
yes, got it.
Yes.
Thank
And I did the roll call. It was a
Yes.
unanimous.
Got it.
Okay. Any other question?
Nope.
Okay. So
forward.
the next document is 6223 and 2523 as a block. Can I get a motion to take document 6223 and 2523?
Wait, you did 6223.
We are missing, Madam Chair, we are missing 6823.
6823.
No, that's what I'm saying, Councilor Levy. I'm taking those
Okay.
two items as a block, 68 and 25.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so that way we don't have to go by one by one. So the
Mhm,
motion,
mhm.
yeah. Who's talking? Okay, so the motion is to take document 6823 and 25 as a block to send to Officer Cano and also to table the document.
So move.
Okay, motion has been made, properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, it's a handicap park in the 2-space 9 Lexington Street. And the 2523 is a handicap park in a 94 Saratoga Street. Both motion has been sent out to Officer Cano and also to table the document. Roll call. Councilor Levy,
Yes.
Councilor Reyes, Councilor De La Cruz.
Yes.
Reyes, yes.
Okay. Okay, so the other one is the taxi licensing renewal. So I'm gonna be taking as a block, but I'm gonna be reading one by one. Motion to take document 2623, 2723, 2823, 2923, 3023, 3123, and 3223, and 3323. Motion to take it as a block.
So move.
So move.
Motion has been made, properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. 2623, Merrimack Transportation Corporation, renewal of taxes livery license. Popular 2723, Popular Taxi ZO LLC, renewal, taxes livery license. American Taxis, renewal of taxes livery license. Livery taxes, renewal of taxes livery license, 29. 30 is 5 Star Express Transportation LLC, renewal of taxes livery license. NYC, New York United Transportation, renewal of taxis livery license. LMAM Transportation, that's 3223, renewal of taxis livery license. 3323, Rio Hondo Transportation, renewal of taxis livery license. All the licenses being to renewal. It's nothing new, it's no any other license new. Can I get a motion to send document, all the document with favor recommendation?
So moved.
So move.
Motion has been made, properly seconds, all those in favor,
Aye.
Aye.
the ayes have it. Councilor Levy,
Yes.
Councilor De La Cruz,
Yes.
Councilor, Councilor, yes. And the chair is
Yes.
voting affirmative. Yes, Councilor Reyes, yes.
Yes.
So that's being unanimous, okay? So can I get a motion to take document 3423 and 3523, 3823, 3923 as a block to send to Officer Cano and also to table the documents? I'm gonna be reading one by one before the roll call, but I'm gonna call the motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion has been made, properly seconds, all those in favor,
Aye.
Aye.
ayes have it. Document 34 is a handicap parking at 153 Willow Street. 3523 is a handicap parking at 85 Willow Street. 38 is no parking here to the corner, Prospect Street, corner of Prospect Court. It has been put on the agenda by Councilor Levy. If it's no parking here on the corner, that doesn't have to go through us because we already have an ordinance implemented over there. So what we have to do, Councilor Levy, is just to work with the DPW and request that they can paint it, the line, but we don't have to send this to Officer Cano because this is an ordinance that is already exists. Okay.
Okay.
And 39 is a
So
stop
right now,
sign.
right now do not exist that's the stop sign. No.
Yeah.
But I
So yeah. So this one is going to be sent for withdrawal because what I'm going to be working on that, Councilor Levy, if you want to meet, join a meeting that I'm going to be having with DPW director next week, you're welcome to come. We are working on something similar on Jackson Street. So people are complaining that they are blocking the way when they, the view when they try to inch it out, and then it's really hard for them to see. So you're welcome to come. I can send it the day and the time, and please come and join us. Okay.
okay, please do it. Yes, thank you.
And so where are we now? Okay. So the last document in this block is 3923, stop sign facing Prospect Court. So what are you looking on doing that, Councilor Levy?
So that corner is a little dangerous and when people is coming, it's like a hill, and when they coming just ride the hill from Prospect Court to Prospect Street, and they do not stop, and there is a lot of accident in there.
So are you looking to have a stop sign.
Yes. But this stop
Okay.
sign need to be facing to Prospect Court. Because it's the people who's coming through the Prospect Court, through the Prospect Street.
Okay, so that, yeah, definitely needs to be referral to Officer Cano. So that's gonna be send it out to. So let's go back. So the document that is gonna be sent in table is gonna be 3423, 3523, and 3923. Maria, do you have that
Yep, those goes to Officer Cano and table.
in table? So I'm gonna do the roll call.
Mhm.
Councilor De La Cruz,
Yes.
Councilor Reyes,
Yes.
Councilor Levy,
Yes.
and she is voting affirmative. So the document 3823 is gonna be is up to you, Councilor Levy. Do you want me to table? But it's no need to table.
Yes,
We're gonna be
please.
discussing.
Let's table until we discuss it and then we can remove it, please.
Okay, can I get a motion to table document 3923?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Motion has been made properly seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Councilor De La Cruz,
Yes.
Councilor Levy,
Yes.
Councilor Selena Reyes,
Yes.
and the chair is voting affirmative. Okay, so the last document is 4923, change Broadway to Juan Pablo Duarte.
Madam Chair, still we need is 4023.
Which one is that one?
4023.
Oh, yes, yes,
The-
yes, yes. Yes, yes, thank you. 4023 is a municipal aggregation. Councilor Pavel Payano. Can I get a motion to table document 4023?
Madam Chair,
Yeah,
discussion.
yes.
So I spoke with Councilor Payano. And he said that he will be very welcome if we send it to the full council, because it's something that he's trying to do as soon as possible to join other community, just to help with the increase that we are having with the electricity at this moment. And
Okay.
he's gonna be able to discuss it over there in full, while he also send to us the information that he's been trying, but he's gonna try to join that. He already passed this with Hebrew, and he wanna join the other community that he's belong with.
Okay, so in that case, he spoke to you last, because the last time he spoke to me, he said to table. But if he spoke to you, then I'm more than happy to send document 4023 with favorite recommendation.
So move.
Second.
Motion has been made properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Councilor De La Cruz,
Yes.
Councilor Levy,
Yes.
Councilor Reyes,
Yes.
and she is voting affirmative. So last but not least, I guess, this is the last one, right? 4923. Oh, no, yeah, the new items, but then we have Officer Cano, who's gonna be here all night, passing a long report. So can I get a motion to table document 4923?
So move.
Motion has been made properly second to table document 4923. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Councilor Reyes,
Yes.
Councilor De La Cruz,
Yes.
Councilor Levy,
Yes.
and the chair is voting yes. Okay, so we have Officer Cano, who has a lot of report. Officer Cano. So I'm gonna be taking the item that I have for you to have it. Can I get a motion to take document 2023 43322, 40322, 40522, 40622, 41222, 42622, 39322, 39422, 39822, 34822, 34922, 32222, 31122, 31222, 27122, 27422, 18622, 15822, as a block and out of table.
So move.
So move.
Motion has been made, properly seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Roll call. Councilor Reyes,
Yes.
Councilor Levy.
Yes.
Councilor Maria de la Cruz,
Yes.
and the chair is voting affirmative. Officer Cano, you can join me here. Officer Cano. Just give him a few seconds. He's trying to connect.
Okay.
Okay. No, we can't.
How's that? Oh, that
Okay.
looks-
Good evening.
Good evening.
You let us know that how do you want us to call the items?
Okay, how about if we do numerical order? It'd probably be easier for me.
You just started with, I just took it out of order and out of table, so whichever way is easier for you.
Okay, here we go. Good evening, councilors. It's always a pleasure.
Good evening, Officer Cano.
Good evening. So the first item is going to be document number 15822.
158.
15822, and it's being requested by Councilor Estela Reyes on behalf of her constituent, Ms. Ovalles Dominguez, for one handicap parking sign to be placed in front of her residence for one vehicle at 48 Saunders Street. I do recommend for the request to be granted. If the council passes the request, the sign should be placed in the following location: from the northeast corner of Park Street on Saunders Street, traveling north to a point 370 feet for 20 feet to a point 390 feet. This places the sign on the east side of the sidewalk in front of number 4850 Saunders Street.
Councilor, he recommend document 15822, handicap parking at 48 Sander. Can I get a motion to send document 15822 with favorable recommendation to order a public hearing?
So move.
Second.
Second.
Motion has been made, properly seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The
Aye.
ayes have it. Remember, Counselor, that we're gonna be calling all the items one by one, but we only gonna do one roll call. Okay,
Okay.
next document.
Next document, number 186. This document is being requested by Councilor Giovanni Rodriguez and Vice President Estela Reyes and Councilor Gregory Del Rosario for parking 2 hours along the following roads, which is Broadway from Water Street to Manchester Street, and then Essex Street from Union Street to Winter Street until the new parking contracts take place. However, because we now have the parking meters in place, they started in March 1st of 2023, I am asking to withdraw this request.
Yep, makes sense. Can I get a motion to send document 18622 for withdrawal?
So move.
Second.
Motion has been made, properly seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. You may continue, Officer Cannon.
Next document, 228, document 228. This document was submitted back in July 24th, 2022. This was made by Councilor Giovanni Rodriguez due to several requests from constituents on Lynch Street for a traffic study. So I don't want to, should I repeat what it is, or do you what I think? That the reason why I'm bringing it forward.
So we don't know, so you have to tell us, what do you want to repeat?
So Lynch Street is a very small street. It's a two-way street that currently allows parking on both sides. It's a very narrow road and will not accommodate two vehicles to pass evenly on either side at the same time, or to have an emergency vehicle or ambulance or fire truck enter if needed. Especially during the winter season, it's problems with snow plowing or street cleaning. Lynch Street runs north and south for a length of 264 feet from Hampton Street to Butler Street and is only 20 feet wide. I do recommend for this request to be moved forward for a traffic study and review by the city engineer for his assessment and recommendation. As of to date, I am not sure if that has been done. I revisited the location March 12th of this year and noticed that it appears that the issues still persist and nothing has changed. Therefore, I am resubmitting this request to the city engineer to see if a traffic study can be done to convert it either into a one-way or whatever the recommendation is for this street.
Okay. I met with the city engineer yesterday, and based on our conversation, they are ready to start a traffic study on Tower Hill. So at this time, what I think we should do is table document 22822, just to see if that is going to be one of the streets that is going to be included for the traffic study. Can I get a motion to retable document 22822?
So move.
Motion has been made, properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. That's gonna be, since this one is gonna be tabled, I'm just gonna make a roll call. Councilor Levy,
Yes.
Councilor De La Cruz,
Yes.
Councilor Selena Reyes,
Yes.
and the chair is voting affirmative. Thank you, Officer Cannon. You may continue.
Document 23522.
235 or 225?
235.
235.
23522 is being requested by Councilor Gregory Del Rosario and former Councilor Payano on behalf of the residents on Bicknell Terrace for resident parking only from Reservoir Street to Bellevue Street. Bicknell runs from east to west and is a two-way street. The width of the public way is approximately 24.5 feet and has a length of 491 feet. This street is short, narrow, serpentine-like, and does present a very common problem, which is lack of parking. I do recommend for this request to be granted for resident parking only. However, I also think it would benefit to turn this street into a one-way. I recommend for the item to be forwarded for a traffic study and review by the city engineer and DPW director for their recommendations.
Again, that is also on Towel Hill. Can I get a motion to retable document 23522?
So move.
Motion has been made properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Roll call for that one. Councilor Levy,
Yeah.
Councilor De La Cruz,
Yes.
Councilor Selena Reyes,
Yes.
and the chair is voting yes.
Next document is document 25422. 25422 was requested by Councilor Stephanie Infante for a no parking anytime from 5 to 7 Front Street. So from South Broadway to 57 Front Street, which is the intersection of South Broadway. I do recommend for this request to be granted. If the council passes the request, the signs should be placed in the following location: from the southwest corner of South Broadway on Front Street, traveling west to a point 0 feet up to a point 164 feet. This places a sign on the south side of the sidewalk on Front Street facing the westbound traffic. Let's see, if the DPW is unable to place the sign safely on the south side of Front Street, then the north side of the sidewalk on Front Street may be used at the same distance indicating above.
Okay. I want to send document 25422 with favorable recommendation to order a public hearing.
So move.
Motion
Second.
has been made properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, Officer Cano.
I am submitting this next document, which is 27122. The request was made by Councilor LaPlante on behalf of his constituents who were requesting stop signs for both the east and westbound traffic on Salem Street at the intersection with Foster Street, making this a four-way stop if this is granted. I do recommend for this request to be granted. If the council passes this request, the sign should be placed in the following location: from the north corner of Foster Street on Salem Street, traveling east to a point 7 facing the westbound traffic, which is the traffic that would be going towards, as if you were going towards Methuen. And then from the southwest corner of Foster Street on Salem Street, traveling west to a point 10 feet, facing eastbound traffic. So that would be facing the traffic that would be going towards South Union Street. This will make the intersection a four-way stop. So Foster Street in both directions would have traffic stop signs, and Salem Street would also have stop signs. I request for this item to be forwarded to the city engineer for his review and recommendation.
But this is officer, but this is a four-way stop?
Yes,
Okay,
the reason I'm requesting for him to review it and make his recommendation is because the street, I just need his, if you would, just to make sure that that's okay to do.
but I think I'm gonna feel more comfortable just to send it for with favor recommendation to order public hearing, since you already made the study.
I'm not sure if that's a state highway. So the state might,
Oh, okay. If you would have started by saying that you don't know if the state owns that street, then yes. Can I get a motion to send document 27122? Favor a recommendation to order a public hearing pending the city engineer traffic study.
So move.
So move. Second.
The motion has been made properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it.
next document up is 29922. 29922 was the request was made by Councilor Vice President Estela Reyes for a loading zone in front of 364 Essex Street at intersection with Amesbury Street. I do not recommend for this request to be granted at this time. As of March 1st, 2023, we have new parking meters that have been implemented on Essex Street encompassing this space. Therefore, it should fulfill the request for space when needed by the applicant, businesses, and residents of the building. I request for this item to be withdrawn from ordinance at this time.
Can I get a motion to send document 29922 with favor recommendation for withdrawal?
So move.
So move.
Motion has been made properly seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, okay? Maria, you taking all the notes?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure. I know you are, but I just want to make sure. So since this is not gonna be to order public hearing, I'm just gonna make a roll call for that one. 299, Councilor Reyes,
Yes.
Councilor Levy,
Yes.
Councilor De La Cruz,
Yes.
and the chair is voting affirmative. Officer, you might continue.
Thank you. The next item is 30522. 30522 was requested by Councilor Giovanni Rodriguez on behalf of constituents in the area. I also did get a lot of complaints as well due to numerous reports of serious traffic accidents on Essex Street, going up from Milton Street, traveling west to Ames Street. The request was placed back in September of 2022 and was placed for a traffic study and review by the city engineer. Upon going to this area today, which was March the 12th, I noticed that the Google map showed that Essex Street is a one-way traveling west. So going up the hill from Milton Street on Essex Street, passing Linden Street, Cypress Street, Floral Street, Arbor Street, up to Ames Street. The main street in this area, the main streets in this area have already been posted with do not enter signs. So at Ames Street, as you're going, if you were going to try and take a left, is do not enter signs, and there are arrows saying one way for the motorists. However, what I do see is that there's a need for additional signage along the path to better alert drivers along Linden Street, Cypress Street, Floral Street, and Arbor Street. So if you live on those streets, or if you're traveling on those streets and you get to Essex Street, some of those streets do not have signs letting you know that it's a one-way. And I think DPW needs to enhance the signage for those streets meeting Essex Street. So I will be sending this document over to the DPW, and I do request for the city engineer to take a look and see if it was just an oversight or if it needs to be addressed, just to make sure that everything is covered, to make sure people don't accidentally go the wrong way, which while I was there was a person going the wrong way.
Okay, as mentioned before, I met with the city engineer yesterday. I know that very soon it's going to start a traffic study on that Tower Hill. So I'm going to make a motion to retable document 30522.
So move.
Second.
Motion has been made, properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 So since this one is going to be tabled, I'm going to make the roll call now. Councillor Levy,
Yes.
Councillor De La Cruz,
Yes.
Councillor Selena Reyes,
Yes.
and the chair is voting yes. Officer.
Next document is document 311. Document 311 was requested by Councilor Stephanie Infante, requesting no parking anytime on behalf of constituent at 240 Salem Street. This request is or was requested to prevent vehicles from blocking their private driveway in front of their house. I do not recommend for this request to be granted. The frontage of the property is partially fenced in on both sides. And what's happening is people are taking advantage of that and just parking too close to the entrance of the opening of the driveway. The opening of the driveway is approximately 20 feet long for a total of 40 feet.
Okay.
What I did is I recommend for the homeowner to call the police or traffic control to enforce as necessary. So if they're being blocked.
Can I get a motion to send document 31122 for withdrawal?
So move.
So move.
Motion has been made, properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Roll call for 311. Councillor De La Cruz,
Yes.
Councillor Levy,
Yes.
Councillor Reyes,
Yes.
and the chair is voting yes. Officer.
I just wanted to ask, during the beginning of the meeting, by chance, was there something submitted regarding the driveway for the first 5 feet on either side by the Madam Clerk
Not that I recorded.
to be sent?
I know that we has on plan to be working in some issues, but I haven't seen nothing in the agenda.
Okay, just for the record, I do remember speaking with her and she was going to email to have it submitted for an ordinance to make sure that it gets in. So as soon as that gets in, it's going to alleviate a lot of the problems with this issue, and it'll
Sure.
be.
Yep, sure.
Okay. Next is going to be document 31222. It was requested by Councilor Stephanie Infante for a stop sign at the intersection of Jefferson Street on Lennox Circle, facing the westbound traffic. I do recommend the request be granted. If the council passes this request, the sign should be placed in the following location: from the northeast corner of Jefferson Street on Lennox Circle, traveling east to a point 10 feet. This places a sign, the stop sign, on the north side of the sidewalk facing westbound traffic.
Can I get a motion to send document 312 with favorable recommendation to order public hearing?
So move.
So move.
Motion has been made properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Aye.
Officer,
The next document is document 32222. The vote was requested was made by Mrs. Odanis M. Hernandez, Chief Operating Officer of the Lawrence Public Schools. She had requested and placed a memorandum, which I'll read. The request was back from September 20th, 22, to obstruct for school buses only, Lebanon Street, from the intersection of Amesbury Street to the intersection of Lawrence Street, from the hours of 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., so for 1 hour, and then from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., hence 2 hours, beginning immediately at the start of the school year from August 28th through June the 30th of each year, and any day school is in session. The morning and afternoon closures will allow for a safe drop-off and pickup routine for everyone. I do recommend for the request to be granted. If the council passes this request, a sign should be placed in the following location: from the northeast corner of Amesbury Street on Lebanon Street, traveling east to a point 5 feet. From the southeast corner of Amesbury Street on Lebanon Street, traveling east to a point 5 feet. And then from the northwest corner of Lawrence Street on Lebanon Street, traveling west to a point 5 feet. And then from the southwest corner of Lawrence Street on Lebanon Street, traveling west to a point 5 feet. So I need to correct myself. It's going to be from, the last one should be southeast corner of Lebanon Street.
thank you, Officer. Can I get a motion to send document 32222 with favorable recommendation to order public hearing?
So move.
Second.
Motion has been made properly seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Officer,
The next one is document 34822. Submitting this document and upon request of Councilor Stephanie for one section of Andover Street on Amherst Street facing the northbound traffic. I do recommend for this request to be granted. If the council passes the request, the sign should be placed in the following location: from the southeast corner of Andover Street on Amherst Street, traveling south to a point 10 feet. This places a sign on the east side of the sidewalk on Amherst Street facing the northbound traffic as you enter Andover Street.
can I get a motion to send document 34822 with favorable recommendation to order public hearing?
So move.
Second.
Motion has been made properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Next document is document 34922, being requested by City Councilor Stephanie Infante for one stop sign at the intersection of Andover Street on Clifton Street, facing the northbound traffic. I do recommend for this request to be granted. If the council passes the request, a sign should be placed in the following location: from the southeast corner of Andover Street on Clifton Street, traveling south to a point 10 feet. This places a sign on the east side of the sidewalk on Clifton Street facing the northbound traffic as you're exiting Clifton Street onto Andover Street.
Can I get a motion to send document 34922 with favorable recommendation to order a public hearing.
So move.
So move.
Motion has been made properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Officer,
Thank you. The next item is 39322. So I have two dates on there. Originally, it was tabled in November the 20th, 22, and again, I revisited this and submitting it. It was a request that was made by Mrs. Marte for one vehicle space for a handicap parking sign to be placed in front of her residence located at 189 West Street. I requested the assistance and guidance of the city engineer regarding this matter. I recommended for this matter to be tabled pending further review and recommendation made by the applicant. I have had discussion regarding this matter with several city employees and have concluded that this item will not be recommended on behalf of the petitioner. Applicant Ms. Marte has ample off-street parking on her property to secure her safety and well-being than that of West Street, which is heavily traveled two-way street with parking on both sides of the public way.
can I get a motion to send document 39322 with favorable recommendation for withdrawal?
So move.
So move.
Motion has been made properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I do need to make a roll call with this one. Councilor De La Cruz,
Yes.
Councilor Levy,
Yes.
Councilor Reyes,
Yes.
and the chair is voting yes.
Next document is document 39422. 39422 was requested by Mr. Castro Medina for one handicap parking sign to be placed for one vehicle in front of his residence located at, originally was 526, but he actually lives at 546 Havel Street. The address that was given was incorrect, and I called him and I spoke to him. Regardless, I do not recommend for this request to be granted. The reason for not recommending this petition is because the applicant has three separate spaces to park his vehicle on the property on either side of the multi-unit home. The area at 546 Havel Street is a heavily traveled two-way street, which is windy and a hill that declines substantially and bends at this particular location, making this space vulnerable to accidents. He had actually admitted the fact that his last vehicle was totaled because of an accident. It is a safety risk for both Mr. Castro Medina as well as his vehicle. So I do not recommend it.
Can I get a motion to send document 39422 with favorable recommendation for withdrawal?
So move.
Second.
Motion has been made properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes
Aye.
have it.
Next,
Roll call for that one. Roll call, Councilor Levy,
Yes.
Councilor Selena Reyes,
Yes.
Councilor De La Cruz,
Yes.
and the chair is voting affirmative. Officer,
next document 39522 was requested by Ms. Fidelina Lopez Ramirez on behalf of her daughter, Ms. Mirna Lopez, for one handicap parking sign to be placed for one vehicle in front of their residence located at 20 Bennett Street. Originally, this item was requested as a no parking, but it really was meant, after speaking with the family, to be requested as a handicap parking space. That multi-unit building where they live have no off-street parking available. I do recommend for this request to be granted. If the council passes a request, a sign should be placed in the following location: from the southwest corner of Medford Street on Bennett Street, traveling south to a point 189 feet, for 20 feet ending at 209 feet. This places a sign on the west side of the sidewalk in front of 20 Bennett Street.
Can I get a motion to send document 395-22 with favorable recommendation to order public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Motion has been made properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Officer,
Next document 398-22 was submitted on behalf or by Mrs. Bermudez for one handicap parking space for one vehicle in front of her residence located at 50 East Laurel Street, Building 12, Unit 4. I do not recommend for this request to be granted. The reason for not recommending this petition, after looking into the request, was determined that the address falls under the Lawrence Housing Authority property. Ms. Bermudez has been advised to contact LHA for guidance on how to acquire accommodations for her request needed for parking.
can I get a motion to send document 398-22, favorable recommendation for withdrawal?
So moved.
So move.
Motion has been made properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Roll call for that one. Councilor De La Cruz,
Yes.
Councilor Reyes,
Yes.
Councilor Anna Levy,
Yes.
and the chair is voting yes. Officer,
Next document, number 40322. I'm submitting this memo in response to document 403. This request was made by Madam Chair Estela Reyes on behalf of Mr. Edwin Rios for one handicap parking sign to be placed for one vehicle in front of his residence located at number 1 Bunker Hill Street. Mr. Rios had previously been granted by the Lawrence City Council by way of the Ordinance Committee and processed by Officer Eugene Scanlon on March 29, 2018, document 8618, for one handicap parking sign that was placed on the north side of Myrtle Street, traveling eastward from 25 feet to 45 feet. The issue at hand is that the vehicular traffic in the city of Lawrence has exponentially multiplied for such a narrow two-way street and would place the resident at risk for injury and property damage at its continued current location. Therefore, I requested to have the sign moved for this person. I do recommend for the request to be granted. If the council passes the request, the sign should be placed in the following location: northeast corner of Middle Street on Bunker for 20 feet, for 20 feet to conclude. This place the sign on the east side of the side in front of 1 Street.
can I get a motion to send document 403-22 with favorable recommendation to order public hearing?
So moved.
Motion
Second.
has been made
Second.
properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it.
We're getting close to the end.
Hopefully.
Excited. Number 40522. This is a request made by Councilor President Mark LaPlante on behalf of his constituent, Mr. Carlos Rosario. The request is for one handicap parking sign for one vehicle space at La Iglesia de Dios Pentecostal, located in front of 32 Springfield Street. I do recommend for this request to be granted. If the council passes the request, the sign should be placed in the following location: from the northeast corner of Parker Street on Springfield Street, traveling east to a point 363 feet for 20 feet to end at 383 feet. This places a sign on the north side of the sidewalk in front of the church of 32 Springfield Street.
Can I get a motion to send document 405-22 with favorable recommendation to order public hearing?
So moved.
Motion has been made,
Second,
properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
aye.
The ayes have it.
Next
Officer,
document 40622 was made by Mrs. Eusebio for one handicap parking sign to be placed for one vehicle in front of her resident located at 300 Methuen Street. So very interesting but short story is that what 300 Methuen Street has parking, a parking lot outside, but they have to pay. It's city owned, and there's also the meters in front of the building, and then there's parking space inside the building. But her finances she's finding it very difficult to survive and pay for parking inside the building that she pays rent for. And therefore, that's the reason because there's no parking outside for handicap. I think it would be appropriate and proper to at least, even if it's not a person who lives in the building, but someone that that's visiting, that's handicapped, would have at least access to handicap parking. So for that reason, I do recommend for this request to be granted. If the council passes the request, the sign should be placed the following location: from the southeast corner of Franklin Street on Methuen Street, traveling east to a point 174 feet for 20 feet up to 194 feet. Displays the handicap sign on the south side of the sidewalk in front of 300 Methuen Street, which is the PAC-10 building.
can I get a motion to sign document 40622 with favorable recommendation to order public hearing?
So moved.
So move,
Motion has been made, properly second. All those in favor?
aye.
The ayes have it. Officer,
Document number 41222 was requested by Mrs. Guzman for one handicap parking sign to be placed for one vehicle in her residence located at 2 Bennington Street. I do recommend for this request to be granted. If the council passes the request, the sign should be placed in the following location: from the northwest corner of Chestnut Street on Bennington Street, traveling north to a point 30 feet for 20 feet, so that it goes from 30 to 50 feet. So tenants residing at 2 Bennington Street do not have close, how do I put this? I should be reading off. This is, it should have said close. So residents of 2 Bennington Street don't have a parking lot in front of their building or to the side. It's basically at 4 Bennington Street where the parking lot is, and it's the back building. So if you were to park in 4 Bennington, which is Auburn Street, you'd have to walk, I believe it's 40 to 60 feet from the car to the building to then walk through number 4 to get to number 2. And I think that's too much of an inconvenience. So that's the reason why I'm recommending for that parking space to be made. This places a sign at the location and will create a third sign for a handicapped person.
can I get a motion to sign document 42622 with favorable recommendation? 412, actually it is. 412, favorable recommendation to order public hearing.
So moved.
So move,
Motion has been made, properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
aye.
The ayes have it. 426,
42622 was requested by Mrs. Trinidad for one handicap parking sign to be placed for one vehicle in front of her residence located at 69 Lexington Street. I do recommend for this request to be granted. If the council passes this request, the sign should be placed in the following location: from the northeast corner of Park Street on Lexington Street, traveling north to a point 330 feet. This encompasses 20 feet of parking, so it will end at 350 feet. This places a sign on the east side of the sidewalk in front of 69 Lexington Street.
Can I get a motion to send document 42622 with favorable recommendation to order public hearing?
So move.
Second.
Motion has been made properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Guys have it. 423?
433, 430
Yeah, 433.
was requested by Mrs. Jimenez for one handicap parking sign to be placed for one vehicle in front of her residence located at 61 Wesley Street. I do not recommend for this request to be granted. The reason for my lack of recommendation is because the house is located on a corner lot where the street is at an incline and all traffic merges at this four-way intersection leaning towards the side and front lawn of her house, where the applicant could utilize for parking between 0 to 50 feet of her own residence, but it's not recommended. The applicant or resident would be placing herself in jeopardy upon exiting from the driver's side, placing more weight on the driver's door, making it harder for her to exit the vehicle and ultimately placing her vehicle and herself at risk as a disabled person with limited mobility. Applicant has a private driveway for 2 cars and a 1-stall garage right in front of that at her disposal, which is much safer for her to park her vehicle and alight from it at night or any time of the day, only steps away from the front door. So I guess my words were a little bit off, so I just want to give you a picture of it. So her car, if she were to park in front of her house, the driver's side door would be the heavier side. It would be angled upward. So she'd have to push the door open with her left hand to try and get it open. And it would be always gravitating towards her because she's at an incline. It kind of gravitates towards in a downhill manner. So it's too dangerous for her to park outside.
Can I get a motion to send document 42033? Favorable recommendation for withdrawal?
So move.
Second.
Motion has been made properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Roll call for this one, 433. Councilor De La Cruz,
Yes.
Councilor Levy,
Yes.
Councilor Reyes, and the
Yes.
chair is voting yes. Officer,
The next item is document 823. Document 823 was made by Mrs. Nunez for one handicap parking sign to be placed for one vehicle in front of her residence located at 4 Bennington Street. I do recommend, so I want to table this item. I know that on here it
Can I-
says I do recommend it, but I want to get the permission first by the city engineer, by David, Richard Rodriguez, who's our handicap person and helps with the city with these issues. I also consulted with David Rodriguez, which handles our parking. So I want to make sure that this is a safe place, even though number 2 was granted. Number 4, so number 2 Bennington is at the top of the hill. Number 4 Bennington is at the bottom, right at Auburn Street, where DPW is. I just want to give you a clear picture of what I'm looking at. And at that point, 4, if we grant this, it's at an incline. And my understanding that even in parking garages, you cannot have handicap parking in an inclined space because your wheelchair could roll, you could slip or fall, and it would put them in jeopardy. So I want to get the okay first from them before we could do that. Number 4 does have handicap parking on Auburn Street, It's a flat piece of land and it's for residents. However, they're charging the residents and some people are finding it difficult to manage, but not at the cost of their safety. For me, the safety is more important. So I would like to table this until I get the okay, whether we can do it or we cannot do it.
Thank you. Thank you, officer. I really appreciate your comments. Since those are my constituents, at least I know if they ever come to me, what would it be the response or two of the councilor at large? The reason that officer is passing all that information is because when the constitution, they don't get something for or someone from someone, they try to get to another counselor. So at least everybody's going to be in the same page. Thank you, officer. Can I get a motion to table document 823, retable actually?
So move.
Motion has been made properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Roll call for table. Councilor Reyes.
Yes.
Councilor Levy.
Yes.
Councilor De La Cruz.
Yes.
And the chair is voting yes. Document 2023, officer.
So the next document is 1023, right?
1023.
1023 was made by Councilor Stephanie Infante for one stop sign at the intersection of Carver Street on Shattuck Street, facing the eastbound traffic. I do recommend for this request to be granted. If the council passes the request, the sign should be placed in the following location. From the southwest corner of Carver Street on Shattuck Street, traveling west to a point 6 feet. This will place a stop sign on the south side of the sidewalk on Shattuck Street, facing the eastbound traffic. So basically, Domino's is right behind you, and you're driving on Shattuck Street right towards Carver Street, which is the Sheehan's Towing. That's where the sign will be at that intersection.
So you do recommend it?
I recommend it, yes.
Can I get a motion to send document 1023, favorable recommendation to order public hearing?
So move.
Motion
Second.
has been made, properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, the ayes have it. Counselor, I'm going to read the document that we are gonna be voting as a roll call. It has been a unanimous vote, but just for Maria to have to take a note. This is gonna be the roll call. We already voting. It's just to make sure that this is gonna be on record. Documents are 158, 186, 254, 271, 312, 322, 348, 349, 395, 403, 405, 406, 412, 426, and 1023. Maria, those in your notes were the one that we had been sending with favorable recommendation to order public hearing?
Yes.
Okay. Roll call. Councilor De La Cruz.
Yes.
Councilor Levy.
Yes.
Councilor Selena Reyes.
Yes.
And the chair is voting affirmative. That is it for Officer Cano. Let's conclude our today agenda. Is any table item that we wish to take at this time?
Madam Chair,
Officer Cano.
I just want to say thank you for the opportunity. I know that we had quite a list I'm continuing to work just to let Councilor Maria de la Cruz and Councilor Selena Reyes, also Councilor Levy, yourself, just to let you know that I've been working on the 2022 list, trying to finish them to make sure we catch up. So there may be a delay on the new 2023 list, but I really am trying to work at following up and making sure we're not losing any of the 2022 items that really we need to push forward and either make a determination. Now that we have a city engineer that's going to be working, I think that's going to help a lot with the backlog. And I really hope that we can continue forward with everything that we need to do. Thank you. Be patient with me. It's a lot of information, a lot of work, and I'm trying to get to, to all of your requests. So thank you. And also Maria Holleran, thank you as well.
We love you.
Thank you.
Thank
No,
you.
yeah,
you,
you
Madam
guys-
Chair.
you love him, but I do not. This is something like a 20 plus item. I know that we had been canceled meeting, but thank you, Officer Cano. We really appreciate what you're doing, and
He's
most
working.
important, passing all the information that we need, whether you're going to be approving or you're going to
no.
denial it items, is always good to know, so that way they know the reason why you are denial. Thank you. We really appreciate your work. And there's not any other item. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, John, for make this possible. And motion to adjourn.
But
Second.
not just only that, he always with the community. Thank you so much for support us in the community.
I'm gonna send the address for the flowers.
Okay.
Thank you as well.
Thank to us. Thank
I
to
will
us.
send the address for the flowers.
Thank to us. If we send the flower.
Okay, make sure this is gonna stay in record.
Okay.
This is staying record. Motion to
So
adjourn.
motion to adjourn, so move.
Second.
Motion has been made, all properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Counselor, thank you. Thank you so much for making this
No,
meeting
thank you
possible.
all.
It was
Thank
well
you.
needed, well needed. That is the reason why we always have to keep on check and try to make those meetings whenever it is possible. It was a page and a half new items without counting all the items that Officer Cano was holding. Thank you all for participating. Thank you for making possible, and see you at our next.
Mire. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Madam Chair.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
night,
Bye.
everyone.
Thank